Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome back to Doomlink's Live Hunts. We are once again in Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, and I probably should say that it was initially my intention to record 3 Ultimate today, but I did, as I normally do, I went on to 3 Ultimate just to see how things were. Generally, if it's not active enough, and I feel that I won't have a good group to hunt with for a full-length recording, I just won't do that game. And not only was that the case, that there wasn't a decent group to play with, I joined a room with a Hunt Rank 999 who was putting custom quests on the quest board, which was a bit stupid. It was something like 5 Crimson Kurapeko in the land arena. I don't know if they were all at once, but it was just... it didn't really feel quite right, and as well as that, I mean, of course it was a custom quest. It had all these... you know, the quest name and description was all written by someone else, but that person was like, next we'll do 5 Elatrion, and I'm like, no, I don't think I need to experience this today. So I ended up scrapping 3 Ultimate as a plan, and here we are in Portable 3rd. I think we're all ready to go. Yes, we are. My beverage for today will be... hello, Yells. My beverage for today will be... stout. Just refreshing my chat there. Oh, is this the area where I immediately get charged by a Bullfango? It is, but I think that there aren't any here this time, which is nice. I'm glad to see that. I'm just going to open this and pour it. I'll be drinking it out of my Westmail glass. I realised that my arm sort of crossed over in front of the camera perspective, but it's not always convenient around here. In terms of game volume, I'm going to try and have it louder than it was the previous time I was recording, and pretty much louder than every other time I've recorded this game in the last year or more. Some of my initial recordings of Portable 3rd back in 2019 were alright in terms of game volume. I just want it to be a bit louder. It's unfortunately harder to manage for the reason that, for some reason, this game is considerably quieter than all the other PSP Monster Hunter games. So, there you go. Alright. Let's cease leeching on the quest. Leeching on the team, I suppose, is how you would say that. That's how that would work. I'll give Soul Reaper a hand, shall I? Well, I'm glad you managed to catch a stream. That's always good. I suppose our schedules just don't align properly. Because you are indeed on the Discord now, so... you should be getting notifications. Honestly, these baggy are just awful. Please hit me. I will intentionally take the hit at this stage. If you're running out of data, then don't watch this live stream, because this is streaming at the highest bit rate that Twitch can handle, so it will be digging into your data quite considerably. Just be aware of that. So if you're one of those people who watches Twitch, or at the very least at this stage is watching Twitch, with your mobile data, and that's sort of like a finite amount of data, don't watch this live stream, because it'll really drain it quickly. We are, I suppose, appropriately splitting into 2 teams here. These monsters are pretty weak. It's just I feel that the last time I was doing this quest on camera I was fighting the Great Baggy, so I don't really want to have a repeat of the previous attempt at this quest, but whatever. This is the one that was closest to me, so I'm finding this one. That's what's going on. But yeah, of course, I do have a general objective here in the game, which is not such an objective that it would require or justify the naming of this as hunting with purpose, but yeah, I mean, I probably could help that guy out, but I'm not feeling too charitable today. But yeah, the general objective, I suppose, would be to get my weapon uses for, I think it's Greatsword, Gun Lance, Switch Axe, and Heavy Bowgun up. It's almost at the highest level on the first filter, which is what I seek to achieve in every Monster Hunter game with my guild card. It's one of my only guild card objectives, actually. I have no real guild card objectives because I've never cared to do things like get all awards or get all crowns. It's never been an interest of mine. The only game that I would have done it in is Monster Hunter Tri, and there was no guild card in that game, so yeah. I don't have much experience in trying to complete a guild card. I don't really understand why it's never... I've never been drawn to the idea of completing a guild card. I just have no interest in that. But I do like the fact that it reflects what I've done in the game, so in that way I enjoy having an even spread of weapon uses. It seems that we have not done as well as they have in killing our monster. Or in killing the monster that is assigned to the team. Well, at least it didn't take that much longer, but realistically it should be faster to kill a Great Baggy than a Lagombi. But who knows. So yeah, I don't know if this team is going to, you know, survive the whole recording. We will see. That is the ideal, because if it's a consistent team, I don't have to worry about downtime while trying to get another person. Which is one good thing about having a consistent team. I wonder if the game can be louder still. I suppose it can be, can't it? Let's boost that a little. My second damage dealer was a Punished Draw Greatsword. I see. In fact, his Greatsword is literally the Iron Greatsword now that I look at it. Even fully upgraded, I'm quite sure that's a crap weapon. Maybe not crap, but comparatively so, yes. Not a good raw greatsword choice. I will check. I'll check to see what the damage is on it. I got a Bird Wyvern gem, which I seem to get most times. I didn't feel like carving the Lagombi because I didn't quite know where it was. I'd be able to find it pretty quickly, but yeah, I just didn't feel like going on an adventure trying to find the thing. Alright, let's check. In these games you can actually check player info from the menu. Carbolite Sword Plus. Maybe it's not too bad. But sadly I can't actually check the damage of the weapon. So I don't know how good or how bad it is. Alright, let's go and... Are we... think we are working with Discord capture, I hope. Here we go, that is Kermit the Frog, pole dancing. Not quite what I was intending on showing here, but fine. See, random hunt. Kermit is really getting into it over there. Argnugtor, very well. No, that's... remember this thing? None of you would remember this. I probably should get rid of that. Anyway. Lighting at the moment, as you can tell, is a bit lacking. A bit. But it's working well enough. It's just a bit overcast today. No, this is not an opportunity for you to post a quest. Whoever did that needs to desist at once. This is not how this room works, and, you know, very occasionally, I don't think this will happen in this room, but very occasionally I'll be vetoed by majority, and they'll all join on the quest that some other guys posted, and then they'll depart on the quest, and then I just have to kick them all. Now, I don't mind doing that, it's just a bit of a waste of time. It might be a bit entertaining for some people, but... again, waste of time. 200 raw for the Carbolite Sword. Passable, but definitely not anywhere near the best raw greatsword of the game. Oops, didn't mean to do that. This guy needs to maybe work out what's going on in this room. I will explain it to him because he is in the chat. Or at least, you know what, I'm removing that now. There's absolutely no reason for that to be on the screen. Remove that now. I don't use that anymore, I used to use that, not this. Actually, that is what I want to show. Just not particularly this gif of the guy making that face. That's basically my reaction with that guy posting a quest, that's for sure. It's Soul something, Soul Reaper. Fuck's sake, he's a phone user. That's why he's offline. This is a random hunt room. So we're following whatever the random hunt command gives. It's not that I'm necessarily opposed to helping him, it's just I need to be hosting the quest every time when I'm recording. That is the reality. I'm not letting other people host, because I've had pretty negative experiences both on camera and off camera when allowing other people to host. Okay, Agnaktor should be HR6. Should just be single Agnaktor. There we go. I mean, we can do the double quest if we want, but we'll just do single because that is what we were given. Okay. Unsurprisingly, for those of you who are familiar with the fact that I don't like Switch Axe is one of the last weapons for me to get uses for. I'll show you my guild card again, just so that you know what sort of progress I've made. I haven't played off camera since the last recording, but yeah. We're now 900 high rank quests in, and we're almost there. If I could focus... look, I don't generally like to do this, but how about I put my foot down and just do Switch Axe for the rest of this recording, or at the very least, until I reach what I believe to be 112 uses. I believe that is the max on the first page. In other words, the number that will cause you to hit the ceiling of that page. The first filter of the weapon uses in the guild card. The filter being 100, which can then be expanded to 500 and 1000. Okay. So, funnily enough, and it's pretty sad, and I think I know the reason why, the Demon Bind, the Switch Axe that I'm using right now, actually looks better in this game than in 3 Ultimate, which is so not okay. There's nothing about that that is okay. I don't know if you guys remember how it looked in 3 Ultimate. If you were watching my 3 Ultimate live streams recently, maybe you would know. But imagine this, but really cloudy and low resolution. That's basically how it looks in 3 Ultimate. And when I said that I knew the reason why, I'm pretty sure it has to do with the fact that the textures are better in this game because this is the PS3 version, the HD version, being emulated in PPSSPP. I don't quite understand how that works, but apparently that's what's going on. My guess is that it's technically the PSP version, but with the HD assets. Oh, why am I using this set? What a joke. I was using this particular set with my Switch Axe before because I didn't want to have high-grade earplugs going up against monsters that can't roar and flinch me with their roar. But this is a particular monster that can flinch me with its roar. The point being that what I usually use with Switch Axe and indeed Longsword is a general use Blade Master set which has high-grade earplugs. No, you fucking don't. Yeah, I don't quite understand how I'm currently playing the HD version. It actually doesn't make sense to me. Because why would it emulate through PPSSPP if it were a PS3 game? I don't know. I'm sure it was something that I knew in the past, but I've since forgotten the logic behind it. Or maybe I never knew. That's also possible. That is also possible. But yeah, the Switch Axe looks really good here. It looks about as good as it did in Try. Oh, goodness me. Sounds like it's either a raw or status hunting horn. It's just really disconcerting to see something that doesn't have, you know, a water or dragon element against a monster like this. Particularly water. It's raw. I don't know why, it's just when I see a lava dragon I feel like he's really susceptible to a particular element, and that would be water. But then this guy's using a raw weapon, I don't know. I'm talking about the visual aspect of the monster. It's almost inconceivable that one wouldn't use element, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's made a bad choice. I want to make that clear. That's just my reaction to it. But yeah, I'm not really using the ideal set right now. It's fine. It is perfectly functional. It's just not what I prefer. Oh, for the love of God. I thought you were running in a different direction. I heard the sound of the Rhinopolis, but didn't quite know where he was, obviously. Can I reload in time? Yes, I can. I need to reposition my microphone. It's a bit too far away. When I say that, I mean, like, really reposition. Sorry for the sounds that it's no doubt creating, but yeah, that's a little better. How does that look, actually? That looks fine. Just making sure that everything's under control. And I do realise that it's probably not that pleasant to the ears to hear me adjust the microphone, but it's in a better place now than it was, so at least I'm happy. Doomlink doesn't have to worry about it anymore. Managed to evade that particular beak smash. Hello, potato. Yeah, Potato was referencing the fact that I received a comment on one of my older videos. It's good that some of my older videos, and by older I mean, I guess from 6 months ago or more, it's good that they sometimes get picked up by the algorithm. I like that. And picked up by the algorithm in the case of my channel is, you know, the difference between 50 views and a few hundred, so it's not very impressive, but still, it was picked up by the algorithm, presumably, and some guy commented on it, and he said that I sound like Google Talk. I don't know what Google Talk sounds like, but my hope is that I'm not quite as robotic as however Google Talk sounds, but anyway. That's why I wouldn't take it as a compliment, because obviously Google Talk is not an actual voice speaking to you. So, yeah. If I were likened to some kind of, I don't know, professional narrator, maybe I would take that as a compliment. But Google Talk, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Stop. Bloody hell. I'm just casually avoiding the attack of the Agnoktor by doing literally nothing. There we go. Yeah, that's a good volume for the game to be at. Here we go. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with Portable Third, this is your alternative to the unstable environment system. A new monster has arrived in the area. To go back to village, select Go to the Village. In the menu, the quest reward will still be paid. So, what this means is that you are given a choice as to whether or not you want to continue the hunt and find a different monster. I don't know what monster has invaded, but we could do it. Return? Yeah. We'll return. Effie in the chat's just making sure that that's what we're going to do. So if we select Go to Village, that will be quest complete. So that's called the warning system. It's not a bad idea, and it is unique to this game. No other Monster Hunter game has the warning system. I don't mind doing it if it's something like Devil Joe, but the reason why I don't like the warning system... Well, it's not that I dislike it for this reason, but one thing that generally gives me reason not to bother with the warning system, in other words, I don't fight the monster that invades, is because usually the monster that invades has a different weakness to whatever I'm using. And I just don't like fighting monsters with the incorrect weaponry. So, I usually don't bother. What is our next hunt? What the hell is going on? I'm not doing Lagombi Bulldrome. Excuse me. Previously I had 2 Bulldrome, then Great Baggy and Lagombi. Now I've got Lagombi and Bulldrome. This is getting really crap. Jen Moran. Okay. Sure. I personally enjoy Jen Moran, it's just, I think we did one in the previous recording, so I don't want it to be too repetitive. I'll just bring a different weapon. I used a hammer last time. What would be fun to use? Do I have a crouch pierce set in this game? I don't think I do. No. Unfortunately, you know, for some reason Evade Extender is 15 points in this game. I've never understood why. It's one of the reasons why I've only got these 3 skills for this pierce set, but Evade Extender is still important to me. I don't have a crouch pierce set, so I don't think I'd use heavy bowgun. Gunlance is done, by the way. I thought Gunlance still needed to be done, but that's taken care of. Let's do Greatsword. I know I said I'd keep doing Switch Axe, but no. Not today. Let's use Anguish. As you can see, the colours of Anguish in this game look really different to Try and 3 Ultimate. Looks almost cartoonish in its coloration here. But I like it. Not the urgent quest. Rumble in the Great Desert. Oh great, someone's had their spot taken by a sniper. Oh, didn't even need to kick them. As a room sniper, that's someone who just joins without invitation and ends up taking someone's spot. It looks pale. I wouldn't say pale. It's more colourful than the Try and 3 Ultimate one. Considerably more colourful. As you can see, I always eat for attack up large in this game. Eat for. Drink for, more like. I do say eat for a very good reason. It's because it's literally eating in every other game. But, yeah, I do drink for attack up large every time. Just feels like the best one to have. This isn't a game where I can really make use of skills like Exchanger. And I don't feel the need to try to get Moxie or anything like that, so attack up large is fine. And again, this is one of the very few games, and I still don't really know why. This is one of the very few games, or one of the very few characters that I have in a Monster Hunter game where I don't have excessive greatsword uses. I didn't, you know, Greatsword didn't fall out of favour with me during the period of time that I took to build this character, which took place about 2 years ago. This being my portable third character. My original Freedom Unite and portable third characters were lost because I lost the memory card that they were on. And then I remade my portable third character in early 2013, I believe, but for some reason I chose to name it with random Japanese characters. And now that I can read Japanese, it was ridiculous when I actually saw what it ended up being. It was literally random characters. It ended up being Wanata Kaede or something like that. So, yeah. I was not going to be keeping that character, so I remade this in 2018. Or remade a character that becomes this character here. today, back in 2018, so... Yeah, but it's not like Greatsword fell out of favour with me during that time, it's just, I guess I wanted to use different weapon types. Now, I believe what Xeno's doing there can't be done in Try. I seem to recall that you've only got to, you know, say... how far does it turn? I don't know. I'm gonna guess a 180 degree range of movement. It goes all the way to the left and right. Whereas in this game it's 360. They're not aiming for the tusk, you say? Well, I haven't really aimed for those in a long time myself. Back in Try, I used to do it pretty consistent. What the fuck is going on with this team? We just had a gong and a binder for the opening ship slam, which is totally unnecessary. I don't feel that either of those is necessary. To have two is like a bad joke. Whatever. Soul Reaper and I are both using Greatsword. I am, by the way, one of the few people in this community that chooses to use the Double Joe Greatsword over the Elatrion Revolution. I just don't care for the Elatrion Revolution. I do use it sometimes, but not often. I enjoy the roar of this, the RAW of this greatsword. Because the way I usually do it, and this might fly in the face of your understanding of me being a huge proponent of elemental damage, but I prefer to treat elemental damage as a bonus. My main damage is raw, and then I like the bonus damage to be elemental. So, in other words, I will usually go for the weapon that has more raw and less element, provided it's not a shitload of raw and almost no element. I don't want something that's really heavily leaning on the side of being a raw weapon, but I don't want something that's almost all element and very little raw, if that makes any sense. I want something that's in the middle, slightly leaning towards raw weaponry. Which is essentially what this greatsword is. I would say that most people's grievances with this greatsword would relate to the sharpness, which I will try to remedy now. I just don't have Sharpness +1 with this. It might even be better to use this greatsword in conjunction with Sharpness +1. And I do have a set for that, which I made for the true cutter sword, but I think the Devil Joe greatsword would be appropriate to use with that as well. So I might do that next time. Alright, down we go. Looks like a few of them are going to get... Oh no, it's just Soul Reaper who's going to take the hit today. Don't know if you saw how delayed that was. That's the amount of lag that he's experiencing. Oops. Well, I'm glad to see that the binder is ready to use. I was worried that it wasn't going to be ready to use when we needed it again. The fun thing to do is to shoot the cannon while Jen is in midair, but I didn't really get to time it that way this time. What is going on? Oh, it's because of BLK's Pierce. That is the reason why we have already reached the final showdown. So, for any person who has experienced a proper piercing strategy with Gen Moran, you'll find that it completely destroys him. BLK has obviously emptied out all of his Pierce ammunition in that time, and... well, not literally all of it, but... well, it turns out that that bow gun is appropriate for crouch, but... yeah. At this rate, we're going to kill this thing out of the calm zone. Which I'd rather not do. I'm actually going to tell BLK to stop. I can't even ping this frickin' person. I know that it's not on the screen, my typing right now, but... I just don't want us to lose the calves. I don't need the calves personally, but there are people here who might need them. I don't know if what I've said has registered with BLK. Nope. Very well. I think that might have just been okay. If not, then too bad, but... do we have all of our calves? Yes, we do. Fortunately. Had I decided to continue attacking, we would have missed out on our calves. Once again, I'm not in need of them, but I think Soul Reaper, for example, is in need of them. Just for a bit of trivia, you weren't actually able to walk inside Gen Moran back in Tri. You could only carve from the side of the body. If he does it one more time, I'll warn him for harassment. What Xeno is doing is totally inappropriate. Intentionally trolling people out of their calves. I was very close to doing it. Had that been any more persistent than that, I would have warned him in Hunsterverse for harassment, because that sort of griefing is fucking inappropriate. Do it anyway, no. It wasn't enough to constitute grieving, in my opinion. He shouldn't have done it at all, but yeah, hitting people out of their calves intentionally is fucking ridiculous behavior. Alright. This person is asking, what does the white, yellow, and red sharpness do on a longsword? I mean, I understand if you're not sure, but in my opinion it's fairly logical. I checked and it doesn't upgrade attack. So it doesn't... it checked what? It isn't reflected in the... I'm assuming this person checked their attack value. That's alright. That's an understandable misunderstanding. Yeah, so of course it's not something that's reflected in the status. This person's a frickin' head case. I don't really have the patience to repeat myself, but yeah. Gonna get a random hunt going. 2 nibble snuff? Great. Rightio. And we will indeed return to Switch Axe. But we will use that set from before, the one that doesn't have high grade earplugs. These are the ones that I use for Longsword and Switch Axe. I have this one which doesn't have Sharpness +1 because obviously that's not going to work in conjunction, for example, with Elatrion weapons that already have max sharpness. So those are the two, well, that's the reason rather why I have two of the same set effectively. Alright, this one shall be used with my Amber Hoarfrost, which I have always jokingly spelled W-H-O-R-E Frost. But that's a somewhat juvenile joke to be making at this stage. I suppose it always was. 2 Nibble Snuff. Sandwiched in between. Okay. It's a lovely name for a quest. It's never like that, of course, because it's not like they get in close and cuddle you or something. Alright. Oh, that just means that the drink has been more effective than usual. It turned out perfectly. I don't really know what it means. I think it means that you're guaranteed to get all of the possible skills that the drink can offer. That's my understanding of it. I may as well get a max potion. How many drink tickets do I have at this point? I must have a lot. I have 25. Let's get that max potion. Not that I'm expecting to need it. I'm just putting it in the inventory for the future. This person is being very demanding. I want to know exactly how much damage the different stages of the longsword charge give. He's one of those people who just wants to know and isn't willing to do the research themselves. Anyway. I'm assuming that the group is still together. I haven't been told otherwise, so I'll just wait for them to come. But yeah, lighting at the moment is, despite the fact that it's not very good, it's fine. Like, fortunately, the way that I've positioned my webcam at this point allows for lower lighting. Lower level lighting, if that makes sense. About less brightness? I don't know how I want to describe this, but the point is that one of the reasons why I always had considerable reservations about doing PC recordings was precisely because I was more reliant on good lighting than if I were recording a console based on my setup. But this looks fine. I'm happy with this. I'll top up my glass. I only got just about half of the bottle was emptied out. Somewhat off camera, but I'll try not to bump the microphone. Can I get... Oh, it's probably a bit dangerous to try and get all that in. Why do I do this to myself? It is very full. Ridiculously full. Crisis averted. Through rather adroit balancing of liquid in chalice. Okay. Maybe we did lose our group. If we do have a free space, do you want to hunt yells? Also, I may as well mention this. I perfectly understand that maybe the pronunciation of your name is not Yells, but is in fact Gels, but Gels is just weird. Because I think it was initially Jelly, right? And then you shortened it to Gels, but it doesn't make sense, so... yeah. Gels is weird, so I just call you Yells to pronounce the J as a Y. Which is perfectly appropriate, but may not be the way you intend for it to be pronounced. Soul Reaper wants to farm Elatrion and has sent a Pac-Man face to lend further force to his desire as it is communicated to me. We can do one Elatrion. But I don't want to do more than that. He said that he wants to farm it, and I recognise that. But what I'm doing is suggesting that we do one so that he can stay in this room at least for another quest, before he has to go and do Elatrion. And he's doing a tired of shit emote to me. I've hunted more Elatrion than this guy's hunted monsters in the entire series, so he needs to relax a little bit. In Try, I had hunted like 350. All up, I've probably hunted about the same number in Portable Third, including my original character in this one. I've done like 150 in 3 Ultimate. I've done like 35 to 40 in Generations Ultimate. You know, like, really. I think I've fought enough Elatrion, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know who Noria is, but yeah. Let's do Elatrion. I will admit that it will likely be more interesting than Nibblesnarf. Let's bring a hammer. What would be an appropriate weapon? The Duramboros Fell Mace is what we will use. And I will be bringing Mega Dash Juice. Regrettably, that did spill slightly. I do have tissues on hand, fortunately, for events just like these. I do mean literally slightly spilled. It wasn't some sort of major all hands on deck situation, but this is not an invitation for you to post the quest, sir. Thank you. Right. Yeah, come and hunt, Yells. You are free to join. That other guy who was hunting was being an idiot anyway. I'm not going to... See, Noria is not going to take this slot over you. It's just not happening. Who is Noria, even? If I can't even contact the person, then I will have no reservations whatsoever about removing them. Norio. So you never asked. This is... this guy. I'll have to explain to him how things work around here. In the end, I suppose people can join without asking. But yeah, now BLK doesn't have a space. I'll just remove them myself. Vote to kick Noria. Alright, that's been taken care of. And now this person here, this person going breh, can now join. That's BLK. I will get some Mega Dash juice on the go. Soul Reaper is bringing the Carbolite Greatsword, despite the fact that he wants Sky Piercers. He's not really going to be contributing to the breaking of the horns with a shitty raw Greatsword, but whatever. That's usually how it is with the community. You don't contribute to acquiring what you need, you ask people to do it for you. That's really how it happens, but whatever. He's probably new, and so this is the best that he can do for the moment. I've got some Dash Extract. Here we go. Let's make some more Mega Dash Juice. It's... what's the combination again? Dash Extract and what? We're gonna find out. Dash Extract and... Well Done Steak. There it is. How I have this many well done steaks, I couldn't even begin to imagine. Because I don't cook meat, I really don't. So, there you go. I don't need all 5 Mega Dash juices, but that's fine. This will be an opportunity for you guys to see Portable Third, Elatrion, which is the closest Elatrion to the Tri-Elatrion that you can hunt with a group at this stage. The reason why this is closest to Tri-Elatrion is because he's very easy to flash bomb. One of the, I guess, imbalanced aspects to the original Elatrion hunt was the fact that you could very easily flash him out of the air. Now, part of the whole dynamic of the hunt is dealing with Elatrion while flying. But in Tri, and in this game, you don't have to worry about that. You can just throw a flash bomb and that's all you have to deal with. Just the brief moment in which a flash needs to be thrown. You can see that the starting point is different in this game too. This is the only game where Elatrion starts in this place in relation to the team. I don't quite know what... oh, for the love of God. I don't quite know what BLK is... oh, I see, it's paralysis. That's really good. I don't know if it's a full status setup. Oh, given that it's the God's Archipelago... oh, whoops, sorry if I hear you yells. I did not. But yeah, given that it's God's Archipelago... oh, fuck. Timing could have been a little better, but that's alright. There's the knockout. Please do not hit me. Oh, for the love of God. That could not have been a worse KO. Could not have been worse. Not necessarily his fault, but shit. Unfortunately, that is the head flinch of Elatrion. Those of you who've played the older games are quite familiar with how the original Elder Dragons had quite significant head flinches. Unfortunately, that is the head flinch of this monster. It actually interrupts everything the monster's doing, and that includes being KO'd. It's awful. It's just this little animation that takes place. Can't get to the head in time. I actually don't really feel like Mega Dash Juice is entirely necessary. Okay, that's the first horn. You could see that I was rolling out of the way of that in anticipation of that coming out, but sadly I couldn't roll quite far enough. Thank you for the heal. But yeah, there is no ballista binder. That was first introduced in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and I believe it was the only fight where that was present. I don't think it returned in Generations Ultimate or anything. In fact, I'm almost certain that it didn't. The Ballista Binder was introduced in the 3 Ultimate fight for the reason that flash bombing was deemed too broken in these games, Tri and Portal 3rd. So if you wanted to get Elatrion out of the sky, you had to do some binding. Big thanks to BLK for the paralysis assistance. The Duramboros Fell Mace, by the way, really good damage. Very good raw option. If I were using a Dragon Hammer, I would really be quite reliant upon the mode in which Elatrion was in for good damage. Hey, look at all this paralysis. This is really good. I feel sorry for this monster. There's another head flinch, which is really disadvantageous. Now, of course, there are lots of opportunities that Elatrion presents to a hammer user, but having all of this paralysis is really helpful. Really helpful. That was something broken. Probably a claw. Can I upswing the turnaround? Sure can, but I didn't quite get the timing right. Of course, the turnaround is a big opportunity that Elatrion gives you, but if you're playing online, it's not that good. Elatrion's one of those monsters where if you're using a hammer, it's actually better to solo, because you can get that turnaround every time. Because obviously, in solo, you are the only target. It is the fact that Elatrion sometimes aims for different people that the turnaround doesn't always work as an opportunity when online. Can't quite reach it. Not the best oh! That was not a full knockdown. Soul Reaper is in trouble, serious trouble, and he would be dead if it weren't for that life powder. I don't think we'll be getting the tail today. That was a nicely done hunt. Soul Reaper barely made it through, quite frankly. But he might be lucky enough to get a Sky Piercer. This isn't Monster Hunter Tri, so you've actually got a reasonable chance of getting one each time you break the horns twice. Oh dear. Sadly, this is one of those games where you can't hit the dead monster. I feel like this is a bit of a small Elatrion, but I'm pretty sure the size doesn't change, because canonically speaking, there is only one Elatrion, as I understand it. But he looks a bit small, doesn't he? At least to me. That was a good hunt, though. It feels good to hammer Elatrion again. I don't do it much anymore. Back in the days of 2 hammer, 2 para, which is what they used to do in Trial. There you go, Sky Piercer. That's, I mean, it really is a stark contrast to that of Monster Hunter Tri. I'm sitting here with 10 fucking Sky Piercers. Ridiculous. What was I saying? Back in the Tri days, there were 3 main ways to fight Elatrion with a group. The first and most common was 2 hammer, 2 para. So 2 hammers and 2 paralysis users. That usually ended up being 2 people going paralysis blade master, and another 2 people running hammer. The most common hammer to be used would be the Devil Joe hammer, because of how much raw it had, and it also had purple sharpness as well as that, provided you had sharpness +1 on your set. And, you know, that was a really good way to break the horns. The second way is to do sleep bombing. And the third way, which also towards, I'd say about 1 year into the game's release, this was a very common method of fighting Elatrion. It wasn't so good for horn breaks. It was Elatrion cluster runs. So, you know, people would name the room Clust, and the objective would be Elatrion, and that would be an Elatrion cluster room. And it was pretty good. You needed a very specific set to be effective, but as long as it shot cluster level 2 with minimal recoil, and you could shoot a number of the shots, it was appropriate for that hunt. Basically, people would stand on the ledge and shoot cluster shot between the wings, and it would rain down through the body. And it would permanently flinch Elatrion in place, so he would never end up breaking the ledge. And he would die within about 2.5 minutes. And it was just a fun thing to do in the game. I did it quite a lot. But, yeah, 2 Duramboros is our next hunt, apparently. What would I like to use? How about a greatsword? We're almost done with greatsword, so let's knock that on the head. Fire greatsword, which will be Silver Rathalos. The Rathalos Gleam Sword. Hey Ethan, good to see you. Let's go and post Double Duram, which is just here. There it is. The timing of me saying here and finding this, the double quest was about the same. What am I drinking? It is Cooper's Best Extra Stout. Not just extra stout, but best extra stout. I don't know if it's in any way visible. This label's a bit wet, actually, but... It's best extra stout, which implies that there is a slightly less good extra stout. But there isn't. They sell one extra stout, so I don't know where the best comes from. I would hope that it's the best that you can produce, otherwise, what's the point? Where is everyone? I don't know. I don't know, Ethan. I'm not streaming as regularly anymore, so... less people are watching. But I don't mind. I'm actually getting a pretty good and consistent VOD viewership at the moment on YouTube, so... I'll live with that. Yes, I'm playing Portable Third. I've been playing the older games a little bit more lately. I was going to do 3 Ultimate today, but the only decent room that was there was a guy who was posting custom quests. And I didn't really want to do those, so... yeah, here I am in this game. I don't know if we've lost... we've probably lost Soul Reaper this time. Let's see. See what BLK's doing. Wonder if Mac wants to hunt. I haven't hunted with Mac in so long. Fuck. Maybe I recently played... the best way to check is for me to see his guild card. And you know what, Ethan? I've probably still got your guild card. Let's have a look. No, maybe I never did get your guild card in the end. It would have been in the first 3 or 4. Got Garko and Sam and... I think that was Paul. And there's Springer. But I don't seem to have your card. I know that you were playing for a period of time. But... yeah, anyway. So, Mac. Where is his guild card? When did I last hunt with him? I last hunted with him in 2019. That was the last time I hunted with Mac. I'm going to show him that. They're listed as rivals, yes they are. By the looks of it, I got his guild card around November of 2018. But it was July 1st when we last hunted together. Of 2019, that is to say. Alright. What's happening with this team? I guess Soul Reaper's not coming. I will appeal to Mac to get him in this room. Because that would be a momentous occasion. You're a shitty mod. Not really. There's nothing to moderate. You're a moderator here because you were one on YouTube, but again, there's nothing to moderate, so it's fine. That's alright. Did Mac end up joining another room? Because he was searching for rooms to join. Fuck. But yeah, Mac disappeared for a while. He, during 2018 and 2019, he was one of the people who was on Portable Third almost daily. And then he disappeared for quite some time. He recently returned. Which is great, because there are lots of people that I've played with in Hunsterverse that eventually disappeared. And you just wonder if they ever will come back, and he has come back, which is nice. But there are some others that I'd like to see return. Namely Sky and Leica. But I don't know if they'll ever come back. I've got their guild cards. Let's have a look. Sky's guild card is the most... oh, I might have Briar's guild card, but in other words, I have some guild cards of hunters who have really played a bit too much of this game, and Sky and Briar would be two of those people. Maybe I never did end up getting Briar's guild card. But this is Sky's guild card. He's played a bit too much of this game. Can you believe it, that I was... in spite of the amount of Portable Third this guy has played, I was still teaching him stuff. He was this far into the game, and he didn't even know that you could turn on the spot to remove Snowblight. Poor bastard. But, yeah, that's 3,000 hours, and this was last year. Not last year, 2 years ago. So, there you go. Completed guild card. And then, presumably I do not have... oh, Ibika. If I've set Ibika as rival, this person must have pissed me off. Don't remember. Strange that I never got Briar's Gilkhan. I did hunt with Briar. Oh, I did. Okay. Here we go. Now, this isn't fully updated, but... yeah, he's another person who played a lot of this game. Mushroom for Maiden. I suppose that means that he's, you know, whipping out his cock. Which is lovely. Mushroom for Maiden. You can have much more explicit titles than that in games in 4th generation. But that's fine too. Mushroom for Maiden. Let's depart. Sorry I've taken so long. Clearly Mac is not available at this time. But I just thought that you all needed to see Mushroom for Maiden. Oh god. Here's Duramboros number 1. Or so I've decided. In this game, your rare item is Duramboros Sacrum, as opposed to Durambolite. Sacrum, however, can be mined pretty successfully from the tail. But not everyone mines the tail. You can't mine the tail until it is broken at least once. You can mine when the tail casing has been broken off entirely, or if it has been broken without being entirely broken off. And also carving the tail casing can give you a chance at Sacrum as well. And then, no doubt, there would be a wound reward to give you a chance to get it in the rewards. I do not know if Sacrum is a quest reward. If it is, then it really shouldn't be all that hard to get after all, but I never did have difficulties getting it myself. I had more difficulties getting Nagakuga Marrow in this game than I had getting Sacrums from a Duramboros. I'm probably sitting on a few Sacrums at this point, but that's not much of a surprise. Try to aim for the... you can't really get the weak point while he's in a pitfall trap. Unless you've got a bow, of course, or a bow gun, but I do not. As can be clearly confirmed. Of course, I usually aim for the tail of a Duramboros whether I want the tail or not, because the tail is basically the easiest weak point to hit of the Duramboros if you're using a Blade Master weapon. I do have critical draw on this set, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not really making good use of it. Maybe I'll stop trying to aim for the tail. I think at this stage I would be better off trying to get consistent level 3 charges on at least some part of the body. That's the thing, you have to work out whether it's better to consistently hit something that's not a weak point, or occasionally hit a weak point. What is going to ultimately give you more damage? Usually, it's the former. Unless you're really not doing much damage. Alright, now that is a mineable tail, although I don't think I have... oh, I do have pickaxes, so I'll try to demonstrate that. I bet I'll get a Sacrum. The only time the tail is mineable is when he is lying on the ground, after having thrown himself in the air. Oh, they still hit me, fuck. Of course, there is always the temptation to attack the face, but it's not a weak point. I think it's an elemental weak point if you hit the horns. Strangely, the face and the horns are a different hit zone, Yet I'm quite sure that attacking the face actually builds damage up on the horns. It's very confusing. But yeah, I'd like to carve that tail, but I might not be able to demonstrate that. Oh, there goes BLK. Ow. I was hoping to get the tail with that. Oh well. No saccharin from this one. We should aim to capture the next one, if we can. It is not possible to carve a saccharin from the body, as I understand it. I don't know why I have this extreme fixation on sacrams, but yeah. Might have something to do with the fact that it's, you know, sacrum. I want the Durambro sack. But yeah, in terms of elemental weaknesses, for some reason the horns are really weak to fire. It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's my memory of it. Sadly, he can reach a damage threshold while in that position. So, you can have your opportunity cut short. God. Unfortunately, Yell's had his Wyvern Fire cut short also. Or interrupted in this situation. So, I mean, that is just a complete waste of time. If you don't end up giving us an opportunity to hit you, then we've literally just stood here waiting, like standing by, unable to hit you, only for you to not even give us a chance to hit you after we've stood here doing nothing. It's honestly rude. Hey Vernon. Just doing some Duramboros and Yells is dead. Good night. Good night. 2 deaths. How about we fail this quest, guys? I'm feeling it. Could you imagine? Fuck off. No way. I'd be really unimpressed if that happened. I would be thoroughly displeased. Managed to get the horns there, so that probably did something in the way of damage. I've got 560 inflated elements, so... Hey. Now get away from that tail. You named a Murkrow after me in your brilliant diamond playthrough. I don't really know Murkrow. I sort of remember the... It sounds appropriate. I have to say that I have a vague memory of what that Pokemon looks like, and my vague memories tell me that it's an appropriate Pokemon to name after me, so I thank you for that. You know, I'm not expecting that you would name a fucking Jigglypuff after me, unless you really want it to be extremely ironic. But yeah. Or a Snorlax. Having a Jigglypuff or a Snorlax named after you is pretty bad, but... The last time I was the last time someone gave my name to a Pokemon was a guy back in 2009 who was doing a Let's Play of Pokemon Leaf Green. And he named one of his Pokemon Doomlink. I can't remember which Pokemon it was. I remember the way it looked, but I can't remember which Pokemon it was. Yeah, he was one of my old Let's Playing friends back in the day. Murkrow has my eyes. Okay. Good to know. Also, dying to a high-ranked Duramboros isn't as bad when it's a high-ranked game, Ethan. It's not like this is a G-ranked game and we've died to a high-ranked Duramboros. The difficulty of the rank is proportionate to what rank you can reach as a maximum. And if those two things are indeed the same, then, you know, we're here fighting a level-appropriate monster, so... Oh, fuck! I really want to actually mine this tail, so that I can demonstrate the mining of the tail. I'm going to put you in a shock trap, which might be manifestly disadvantageous for the reason that I was intending on capturing this one, and usually I leave the capture to myself, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm usually the guy who has a trap available for the capture, but now that is not going to be the case. Now, if someone has a shock trap for the capture, that's great. If not, then we'll just have to kill two. I do know you know that. I'm saying that your comment is unfair. Got a tail case plus. Oh, fine. Objective cleared. Couldn't even leave. Good. Is he in the carve zone? Yes, he is. At least we didn't fail the quest. That's one good thing. Don't even want to imagine how I'd feel about that. Well, I know how I'd feel about it, but I don't want to put myself in that situation. I don't want to simulate that in my mind. An eventuality of that sort. May as well gather here. What's going on? Needleberry? Okay. ×8. This guy's very efficient with his gathering. He grabs a handful of needleberries each time instead of individually picking them. Which is good. Brilliant Diamond is apparently a little harder than the original games. I got 2 Wyvern Stones. Yeah! 117 Wyvern Stones. I didn't get a Sacrum. I thought I might have because it's this bone icon, but it is instead a tailbone. I got spooked by a tailbone. I'm going to check to see how many Sacrums I have. I'm going to guess 7. For the record, I do have more Durambolite in 3 Ultimate than I have Sacrums in this game. Whether or not that is a point of significance, I couldn't really say. Why did I just put away 1 single potion? What am I doing with myself? Okay, let's check my Sacrum count. Duramboros Sacrum. Here we go. Huh. I said 7, I've actually got 13. I don't know if I have as many as 13 Durambolite. I don't know about that. You want me to say that 3 times fast? Do I really have to? My heart throbbing, he's succeeding. My heart throbbing, he's succeeding. My heart throbbing, he's succeeding. My guess is that it's not a tongue twister, it's instead going to sound different. Oh. You want me to say Durambolite 3 times fast? For fuck's sake. I need a personal translator to translate your intention into something that I can understand sometimes even. Say Durambolite, okay. Before I do that, Uragan and Steel Uragan very well. I can do that. What is BLK reacting to? I got a double WTF. Oh, here's Ashatron. I'm waiting for this. Everyone must shut. I can handle being shut by one person, but 2? That's too much. At that point, everyone must shut. I'm assuming workout is supposed to be wearing. See, I've become so used to your auto correct that I can interpret workout as wearing. Which is... I mean, it really does go to show that I'm becoming quite used to it, but... Yes, I can wear cat ear headphones if you'd like. And I can also have my hair like this. I'd have my hair like this, right? And I'd have cat ear headphones. And I'd have eyeliner too. And I think at that point, actually, how does this even look? Wow, that's really bad. That's scene. That's not emo, that's scene. Look at that. This is fucking awful. Anyway. Oh. Let's pretend that never happened. Oh no. I've ruined everything now. Give the people what they want. Who's the people? You? Are you the people? There is footage of me back in high school with like a real heavy sweep of my hair, which was done, ironically, with my high school friends, and I'm like going and one of the girls is going past and she's making a funny face. It's pretty good. Pretty good shot. It was back in my old photography class. I need to find that video somewhere. I don't know where it is, but... I have to find it somewhere. So Uragan and I don't want to use Darkest Coffin again. In fact, I don't think I need to, do I? No. I've already got maximum uses with Hunting Horns, so... Greatsword. No, I don't want to do Greatsword with... Stop this thing. Alright, let's do Hammer. It is hammer time. And I ask that you stop. Which is what you would call the reverse order of the joke. Water. Yes. Jen Moran Hammer. Apparently Juvenator also wants my hair to be styled in that way while wearing cat ear headphones. The thing with the cat ear headphones is that it always made no sense, because the cat ear headphones have this speaker designed to them, and no one wants to hear what you're listening to. The entire point of headphones is that it isolates the sound. So what's this business about having speakers on top of your headset? Or your headphones, rather. It's stupid. It was illogical from the moment I laid eyes upon it. Anyway. Okay. Juvenator informs me that he can slap people without using his hands. There's really only one thing that jumps into my mind. And I think everyone would probably have the same thought. But yeah, you've obviously got a mighty big schlong. I didn't even know it was something that could be turned on, Ethan. I thought that was purely aesthetic. Are you telling me that you can actually have those act as speakers? I legitimately thought it was just a look. That's awful. I've got Akira here. I don't know who Akira is. Where is everyone? Oh yeah. Yeah. The Virgin Longsword. What is that supposed to mean? It's beyond my understanding. Virgins were mentioned, so it's funny. Ha ha ha, virgin. Source key. Don't know who source key is. Oh, I understand the joke. Sasuke. Source key. Okay. As you do. Let me just make sure that we haven't actually lost the team. If we have, then so be it. I'll play with randoms. I don't mind, but I'll just make sure. Oni seems to have a mosaic of Ahegal, which is fine. So we've got Zany and... Oh, okay, so that's AoE, which is fine. AoE is Akira, presumably. I believe so. How do I ping that fucking BLK person? I suppose the entire point of this person literally having a maple leaf as their name is that I can't just ping them when I want. I'll refer to you by name, seeing as that you're typing. My hair doesn't feel quite right after that thing that I did. Okay. I'm hungry. I say that because this Effie person spends all day making juvenile sexual jokes in this channel. So... What is that? Oh, that's the sound of my glass shaking on my laptop. was wondering what that sound was. That's fine, so... Oh, whoops, the game's frozen. We've got Source Key and Akira. I will say that there is one slot for my room. I don't know if Yells is still hunting, but he's been gone for a while. Someone's whipping out the Tagalog over here. Presuming that's how you pronounce that. I've never heard that spoken, I've only ever seen it written. But yeah. I do apologise for the downtime. Oh, hold on, I need to hug Jabba. Jabba needs a hug. I've been told that I am loved, which is great. We're about to find out. Eating. Okay, that's fine. So, one slot then. I'm guessing Goburin, yep. Goburin is usually down for a hunt. Gobu Oni-chan. Yes, indeed. Okay. I will make sure that I've eaten. I do apologise for the downtime, but this is indeed what happens when the group falls apart and you need to reassemble the group so that you can hunt with 4 people. It's just something that you're going to have to make an allowance for. And the tool that one must use is patience. Not everyone has it, but if you do have it, it's quite a boon, I think you will find. Bottle number 2 of Cooper's Best Extra Stout, as opposed to their substandard extra stout, which must exist, because otherwise how could they call this their best extra stout? Really? Talk with a mod. Give me one moment to give this guy a helping hand. I refer these people to the support channel for the reason that it's better that they ask in there rather than take over all conversation that's taking place in the regular hunting channels with their very entry-level questions. Alright, I think we are ready to go, finally. Jeez. That took a while. I'm all for giving people a hand, but an explanation, or rather, it doesn't... Helping a person who's in that situation where they literally don't even know how to play in Hunsterverse is not... How did I not... Oh, I must have Lander. I have Lander. That really confused me. I was like, why did I not fall? I didn't bend my legs when I fell. I must have broken legs now. Anyway, the point is that explaining something like that to a person who has no real knowledge of how Hunsterverse works probably shouldn't be done in the hunting channels, because it will be such a long discussion that would be of no help to anyone except for literally that guy who is quite new to the game, or new to Hunsterverse in general. Yeah, it would be better to contain that in a channel that has that as a topic of discussion, you know, assistance and support for people who are new to Hunsterverse. Looks like two of us are going hammer, and source key has been swiftly thrown away from the monster. Gob is using the Giganox lance, which is a pretty good lance. I have it also. Source Key's using an appropriate hammer for this quest. There's nothing wrong with using a dragon hammer against an Uragan. Dragon is his secondary weakness. Let's see how we go here. Sorry. Again, two hammers is pretty hard to make work. Hello, Simply Rome. Welcome to the live stream. Fortunately, the raw chin slams do not actually harm you. Oh damn, would have been a good opportunity. Would have been. Alright, now I shouldn't be bouncing, so I can do regular combos. I'll get out of here, Steel Uragan. This is one of the very rare occasions. Oh, it didn't last for very long, but that is one of the rare occasions where you can fight two Uragan in Area 6. Almost never happens. Yeah. Go for it, brother. Go for it. You're going to be rolling around without an audience, so enjoy yourself. Isn't it funny to think that he's rolling around in that area with no one in it? I think that's pretty funny. Yeah, A Symphony of the Night was made available for mobile about 8 months ago, I think. I remember seeing it. I'm just glad that I have the original game. It's a really nice thing to own. It's become a real collector's item at this point. I wanted to stay away from those exploding rocks. Fuck. I don't think this Uragan's gonna last too long. I think we've done quite a lot of damage to it. Although I don't know why Gob... Why is Gob over there? He didn't die, did he? I don't know if there's an indication in the quest information here that would suggest how many people have fainted. I don't think that that's shown in this game. Sorry if I hit you. Well, I shouldn't worry too much because he gave me an upswing in return and that ended up hitting me. But the upswing that I... Oh, yeah. I was correct in that this Uragan was not going to last much longer. I can only assume that Gob is AFK and farcasted to the camp because he needed to do something. Yeah, it looks like that's what's happened. What? One of the strangest statements I've ever read in the Portable Third chat has just been sent. If Twisted Horn can be obtained by Yeon Kutku, I will hunt it 1,000 times. Is that to suggest that you're that opposed to hunting a Diablos that you would be willing to hunt that many Kutku instead? I guess that's what it means, but Kutku isn't in this game. So it's a really strange comment to make. Anyway, sometimes people do occasionally use the Portable Third chat to speak about 2nd and 1st gen Monster Hunter, but it's a bit confusing. You can hear that the roar of this Uragan is different. They use that in double quests to ensure that you know which one you're hunting. They actually give a different roar to the second monster, but it's unnecessary here for the reason that there is a clear visual difference between the monsters that would not be cause for confusion at all. You're not going to be fighting this Uragan thinking that it's the original Uragan, unless you've got a serious deficiency. So, there you go. Sorry if I hit you. Okay, I did not. Which I'm glad to see. I'm glad that we're able to use the hammers together. There's actually a form of cooperation here. What? I'm glad there wasn't a subsequent upswing there. You go for yours first. Couldn't quite get mine off. Ethan actually likes Diablos, you know. I think Diablos is well designed, but I think he's very annoying. I don't think anyone would think that he's a badly designed monster, but I think everyone would agree, or at least most people would agree, that he's very annoying to fight. Ethan seems to enjoy the fight. Maybe you enjoy it too, but I don't. I think it's very annoying. Thank you for getting in that trap. Look at that. 2 golf swings almost immediately following each other. This would be one of the rare cases where we can actually work together fairly effectively with 2 hammers on what is really, in actual fact, a small head. It's not that big of a head. There are definitely smaller heads out there, but it's not size that matters, okay. Sorry for upswinging you, but sometimes that's what... I'm sorry, but not sorry. It is the nature of the situation. Are you talking 30 consecutive hunts, or 30 overall? I think Diablos is pretty annoying no matter what. He's aggressively farting at us as we speak. We do have a trap here. Let's use it. I'm going to throw some tranks at it. I think he's capturable at this stage. I could hear the sound of the shock trap, and it was starting to piss me off, so I decided to make use of it for that reason. Oh, yeah, okay. It was just a delayed capture. I was about to run in there and hit the monster. No, I perfectly agree that... Or I completely agree that Diablos is well designed as a monster. But he's annoying to fight. At least for me. He's designed to be annoying to fight. But this is the funny thing. Tigrex is very much designed in the same way. He is designed very well to be an annoying fight, and yet I enjoy his fight. I do not enjoy the Diablo's fight. That one's just a waste of my time. So, everyone's got their preferences, but it would be incorrect to say that he's a bad fight. That's not quite right. Damn it, I missed him. I actually have quite a significant soft spot for Tigrex. I really like him. He's probably not one of my favourite monsters, but he'd be in my top 10 for sure. He'd have to be in my top 10. Jesus Christ! What is going on? Guys, this is a high rank game. I got 2 Wyvern Stones and 2 rubies. What the fuck? This is unbelievable. This is totally unreasonable. Alright. Have to let everyone know. That's fucking nuts. Yeah, I don't think I've had better Uragan rewards than that before. That was actually nuts. Let's see what our next hunt will be. Random hunt. Not doing that. It ended up being Uragan again. 2 Bulldrome. Fucking stop with this. Fucking 2 Bulldrome. Tigrex, there you go. There you go. That's what I want to see. Just as we were talking about Tigrex, we get him in the random hunt command list eventually. 3rd time lucky. I will use a hammer again. I will use Despot's Crackle. Yeah, while your first game was Freedom 2, mine was Freedom Unite, and having started in Freedom Unite, I can get the same feeling from Tigrex that you get, Vermin, because in the end you were playing through Freedom 2 before you got to the G-Rank stuff, so it was still the same experience. Now, there were differences between Freedom 2 and Freedom Unite, and I'm now quite intimately familiar with those differences, but in terms of the quests that you did, they are the same. So having to get through Tigrex, having to surmount that huge challenge that's put before you, is memorable, and he's a great hunt. The Roaring Tundra roars. I don't know how good it is as a translation, but it's dumb. That's some Generations Ultimate level quest naming. Yes, I acknowledged that you just started in Freedom 2. Well, I just acknowledged that you started in Freedom 2. What I'm saying is that your experience and my experience in regards to Tigrex are about the same. I'm saying I started in Unite. The mentioning of Freedom 2 was in relation to you. Otherwise I wouldn't have mentioned Freedom 2 at all. I did not intend to put that away. What did I just put away? I put away you and presumably you. Okay, I'm glad I worked that out quickly. Alright. No one's taken anyone's slot, we are good to go. That's fine. Sorry if I accidentally bumped the microphone with my glass. It's not a great sound, but mistakes are made occasionally. It's pretty heavy. I mean, the glass on its own is pretty heavy. If you've got a big chalice and you fill it to the brim, that's heavy. Oh shit, someone disconnected. What is going on? Who disconnected? You can always get a sense for when a disconnection has taken place. It's now more obvious than ever. Gob, Akira. Apparently source key has remained, but we'll try to get everyone together. Source key abandoned. Unfortunately, you can't see the difference between an abandon and a disconnect. A person who abandons breaks off. But based on the timing, I can tell that source key abandoned and the other two failed to connect to the hunt. So, that's fine. Okay, looks like we've got that Ahegar mosaic there, which is great. Everyone's still in the room, fortunately. The roaring tundra roars. Yes, it does. Literally, it roars, because there's a monster in there roaring. That's how that works. How long has this live stream gone for? 1 hour and 53 minutes. Will this be the last hunt? Probably not. Maybe the second or third last. I won't go for much more than 2 hours. But I've enjoyed myself. I'm always happy to do Portable Third. Let's go. Take 2 of Tigrex Hunt. This time we are not going to disconnect. The point is that if it stays on beginning quest for too long, or whatever comes, is it beginning quest, then quest name, then beginning quest again? I think so. Perhaps not, but anyway, if the quest title is not displayed quickly enough, you can almost immediately tell that it's a disconnect. That's the point. Tigarex is over here. And Gob is doing a great job of thrusting at nothing. Stellar effort. This is, by the way, the only 3rd gen game where you can fight this monster. Can you fuck off? Get out of here. Out. But yes, this is the only 3rd gen game where you can hunt this monster. Are we really going to hammer again? This is not a monster where we want to be doing that. It's really not. And I regret to see that you haven't changed weapons. It was fine for Uragan, not for this. This is starting to get a bit inappropriate. Oh, I appreciate the intention behind the flash bomb, it just didn't really help me all that much. Unfortunately, the people who are using flash bombs against Tigrex here are people who are used to using flash bombs against Tigrex in 2nd generation. The reality is that it is not as helpful to the team. to flash bomb a Tigrex here. He's more likely to move... Oh shit. Speaking of moving, he's just flown out. He's more likely to move erratically and frequently, whereas in the older games he's sort of standing still and snapping his jaws. Oh, didn't turn to face me. Oh, he's eaten. Already, he is eating. I don't know why, but fine. I almost feel sorry for the guy who's also going hammer, but quite frankly, this is how things have to be. The Zenoga hammer is so ugly. It really is. It's a good hammer, but it's fucking ugly. I will sharpen up. I don't actually have too much in the way of blue sharpness. That was a trap going down, but sadly, the timing and positioning of the trap was not great. The reality is that you don't want to waste your first shock trap on an enraged Tigrex. That's stupid, because he might not have realized that the monster went enraged, but he's going to break free of the trap much faster if he's enraged. That is the point. It is not first or second generation. There are diminishing returns here. He's going to break free of that trap immediately. What a joke. I'm sure it was placed with the best of intentions, but it's not in any way helpful to the team. Now, if for example we wanted to do a capture, he'd break free of it almost immediately, like sooner than what I previously referred to as immediate. Fuck. Whatever. I think it's time for another KO. Oh. Is he going to die before the second KO? Probably. Probably. Poor bastard creature. He's flying over there. Gob seems to be quite familiar with the movements of a Tigrex in this game. I am not at all familiar with the movements of a Tigrex in Portable Third. You want to do a capture? He wants to do a capture. Very well. Oh, jeez. 2 exhaustion animations back to back. There you go. Gob clearly was not impressed. He wanted to kill the monster. Strangely, the monster does not move at all while sleeping. He is absolutely still while sleeping. He does not breathe while sleeping. There is the sound of him breathing, but he does not actually breathe, which is fine. What's this? Mystery bone. No. Not interested, thank you. Bloody hell. Let's do one more hunt. And that'll do us. That's a good final hit. He's having a bad time. least he didn't die. It's not like his final moment of life. Final moment of a previous life, perhaps. Now it's time for him to enter the arena and get killed anyway, but... In fact, what happens if you capture an arena monster? What does that mean? I guess it means that they live to fight another day in the same situation. Never-ending torture. Poor bastard. Alright. 7 finds himself almost permanently incensed by Garen. Every day this guy is having a go. He just cannot separate himself emotionally from what Garen says. It's sad. Alright. 2 Nimble Snuff? Okay. We ended up doing Elatrion instead of 2 Nibble Snarf last time. Turns out that we cannot escape the double nibble. So be it. Is 112 or 112 is the maximum. Let's do Greatsword. Ice Greatsword shall be Barrier off. Or we could do... Let's do the Diablo's Horn Sword, shall we? Sounds like a good idea to me. Not dual blades. Is Sorsky still on the hunt? I don't know if he went and cycled his drinks or what, but... maybe he just returned from the previous quest, I'm not sure. I don't find myself using the Diablo's Horn Sword all that much, so I thought that it would be appropriate to use it here. This will be my last Greatsword use to reach the maximum for Greatsword on the first filter of the guild card weapon usage page. So that'll be good and momentous. And auspicious. Heavy bowgun really has fallen behind, hasn't it? Oh dear. Come on, Source Key. Let's do it, man. That's a good set. That's a great set for Hammer. The reality is that you don't need Knockout King. I enjoy having Knockout King, but the difference between having Knockout King and not having it is by no means profound, considerable, or you know, anything like that. It's just, it's this small boost to your KO damage that you can live without. If Source Key is AFK for the time being, I will actually take this as an opportunity to go to the bathroom. I'll be back momentarily. Oh, my microphone's still on. It seems like source key is gone. Or at the very least, considerably AFK. Just as I was saying that. It's like he heard me. Fuck. I will at the very least reassure Akira and Gob that I'm not also AFK by moving. But yeah, that was good timing. Maybe he needed a toilet visit as well. It is natural. Sometimes we can't control it. Some people eat food that requires regular visits to the bathroom. I don't. I just consume copious amounts of liquid that requires it. Okay. I got a message on my server about something. Oh. Okay, looks like Jim has sent a screenshot about something. And I'll check it out later. Something about input detection issues, which is strange coming from him. Sounds like a Monster Hunter related issue. Which wouldn't be right, because coming from him, that would be... well, it wouldn't make any sense. He's one of my Zelda viewers. He has no interest in Monster Hunter whatsoever. Seems like Gob is fighting one of them. I'm going to join these two to try and encourage him to hunt with us. If he chooses to solo that one, then so be it. I have no interest in two-manning or soloing anything, so... yeah. If I wanted that, I'd fucking... play the game myself, on my own. Oh god. Sometimes a bit of patience is required for this monster. I will get some large barrel bombs on the go. Oh, good. Very good. I'll get his fucking nose. This is his weak point. Specifically his nose. His face is pretty resistant, but that nose is definitely a weak point. Assuming it's his nose, I think it is. Does he have nostrils there? Might just be the front of his face. Okay, we're both fishing him out. If the camera's going crazy, then forgive me. This is not a game where I have to be, or where I should be moving the camera as well as the analog stick on the left. Sadly, Akira has decided to follow Gob's lead and essentially force us to two-man the monsters. I don't like that. Everyone has their own way of playing, but it seems like Akira wants to make sure that Gob's not fucking stuck there soloing the monsters, so... fine. Gob's intransigence has led to this situation where we basically have to two-man. And I don't like that. I'm here with 4 people, okay? The reason why I'm here with 4 people is because I want to hunt with 4 people, not with 2. Seriously. It's not gonna work, source key. Too late. Too late. I can hear the sound of him moving, but I can't see it. Oh. Is that him? Yeah, that's him. Stop moving closer to that one. And he's fucking dead. Good night. Well, I may as well get my calves. I don't consider this a noob carve at all. I think this is quite strategic. I'll miss out on my calves, potentially, if I don't do this, so... thought has gone into it. This is a considerably smaller Nibblesnarf as compared to the other one. Look at him, he's a baby by comparison. There is a direct size comparison for you. This one is tiny. This is probably Gold Crown small in size. It appears to be that way. We'll find out at the end of the quest, but I think this one's pretty damn small. You can see that this one is hosted by someone else. This is hosted by Gob, hence the glitchy nature of the movements of the monster. This is precisely why I try to be the host of these quests. What are you doing? Hello, Makan. Haven't seen you in a long fucking time. Welcome back. Makan. That's a name I haven't seen in ages. Oh no. Very good. I think it's a bit too late to be fishing him out, unless there is more time to get it done. Yes, there's more time to get it done when he's exhausted. Makes sense. And we managed to break those glands on the back of his head. I say gland for lack of a better way to refer to them. Just before he died. Brilliant fluid. Brilliant indeed. That was the last hunt of this live stream. It was an appropriate one because we ended up doing this hunt after having more or less ignored it when it was last selected in favour of Elatrion. Good old portable third indeed. Finding the Hapudaboka. We will find out if that one there is a Gold Crown small. I'm thinking they can get smaller than that. It could very well be possible that the first one was a particularly large one, and this one's normal to somewhat small in size. Sometimes that huge disparity can be enough to make you think that one is very small, when in actual fact it's just, by comparison, very small. No, no crown whatsoever. Okay, fine, point taken. Unless I already have a Gold Crown small for this monster, which is possible. Monster list. Where art thou? Nibblesnarf? Okay, I've already got a Gold Crown large, but I don't have a Gold Crown small. Very well. I've dealt with 40 of them up until this point, which is enough, really. Alright, I do thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time I'm recording Monster Hunter. I will do something tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be Monster Hunter or something else, but definitely expect something tomorrow, regardless of whatever it is. Oh, I can send that to you, Makan. That would be a good idea. I wouldn't want you to be left out. I will link that. Fucking fine. There we go. You can use that and join at your leisure. With that, I bid you all farewell, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.